So, I main Sadako, or the Onryo, in Dead by Daylight. And, well, she plays really weird. And that's something I want to talk about. First off, I'm going to talk about why I main Sadako. At the core, I main Sadako because I really relate to the character. Ringu is my favorite horror movie and holds a great deal of personal significance to me. So when I started playing Dead by Daylight last year, I was shocked and so excited to see her in the killer roster. The Sadako Rising chapter was the first DLC I bought for Dead by Daylight. I've been maining her through all the reworks, and don't really see myself ever dropping the character. This is both because of my aforementioned connection to the character and media, as well as her very unique power and playstyle. That second part is what I want to talk about today. I just want to talk about how I play Sadako. Before that though, do keep in mind that this isn't a guide on how to play Sadako. More just a conversation about her power and how I, as a Sadako main, play her. Now, since I still hear from and experience a surprising amount of people who do not understand Sadako or her power, I'll begin by breaking down how she works. Sadako has a 4.6 meter movement speed, a 24 meter terror radius, a lullaby, and is classified as a short killer. Her power, Deluge of Fear, has multiple parts to it. First off, demanifestation. Sadako can switch between a manifested and demanifested state. Holding down the power button for about 2 seconds will swap you. During this transition, you are slowed to a 4 meter movement speed. While demanifested, Sadako is undetectable and fully invisible past 24 meters, or outside her normal terror radius. Within 24 meters, she instead flashes intermittently. Think like Spirit, but you can actually see yourself flashing in and out of visibility. Additionally, you no longer have survivor collision, or get stunned by pallets, head-on, etc. However, if you pick up a downed survivor, you will automatically become manifested. Now, when you manifest, a couple of things happen. First, you retain your undetectable status for 1 second. Your intermittent visibility remains for 4 seconds, giving you 4 windows of invisibility and 3 windows of visibility. Additionally, Sadako has a unique prop on the map, TVs. 7 of these spawn on the map, each next to a generator. Their location is determined by the closest available chest spawn to each generator, meaning the more chests on the map, the more likely your TV spawns will start getting a little goofy, like on Swamp when the closest available location to the main building gen is facing a wall on the edge of the map. This is why my sweaty offering for Sadako is the cut coin offering. Anyway, these TVs are highlighted white to Sadako while powered on. They will begin the match powered off and all turn on after 30 seconds, revealing your TV spread for the match. While demanifested, Sadako can press her power button to teleport or project to a TV, initiating a 5-second animation of Sadako crawling out of the TV, after which she will be automatically manifested and gain a 6.9 meter movement speed for 2 seconds. Projecting to a TV powers it off for 45 seconds. When Sadako projects to a TV, her unique affliction, Condemn, has the opportunity to be applied to survivors. A stack of Condemn will be applied to any survivor within 16 meters of a powered TV, including the TV Sadako just projected to. This application will occur right at the end of the 5-second animation. While you cannot see how many stacks each survivor has, when a survivor gains a stack of Condemn, the ring around their portrait will briefly flash, indicating that they gained a stack. Additionally, the ring will get brighter overall as they gain stacks of Condemn, allowing you at least a rough estimate of their level of Condemn. Finally, the more stacks a survivor has, the more a static-like aura will surround the survivor in-game. So, what does Condemn do? Well, after a survivor has accumulated 7 stacks of Condemn, the ring around their portrait will turn red, and the survivor will be revealed by Killer Instinct for 6 seconds. When a fully condemned survivor has been downed, an interaction called inexorable stare is enabled. This interaction is a unique Mori, allowing you to kill the survivor regardless of hook stages. So, being able to kill survivors without hooking them sounds really good. So how do survivors counter this? Well, survivors can also see the auras of TVs, just only within a range of 16 meters, or the range at which they will gain condemn. They can interact with a powered TV to retrieve a tape, which powers that TV off. Important to note, when a survivor powers off a TV, the TV goes on cooldown for 70 seconds instead of 45. When a survivor retrieves a tape, the furthest TV from their location is revealed in a yellow aura. If they run to the target TV and insert the tape, they will power off the target TV if it is on, as well as remove 3 stacks of condemn. Finally, a survivor can power off a TV while carrying a tape that isn't their target TV, at the cost of gaining 1 stack of condemn. All 3 of these interactions, retrieving, powering off, and inserting, are 1-second interactions for the survivor. If you happen to project to a TV while this interaction is in process, you will interrupt it. Next, when you hook a survivor as Sadako, if they are carrying a tape, the tape is destroyed. And if they have any condemn stacks, those stacks get locked in and are no longer able to be cleansed. A max of 3 stacks can be locked in per hook. Any extra stacks simply stay as normal and can be cleansed after the unhook. So, that's a lot. What the heck is going on with this power? And why is it so weird? Let's talk about that. What is Sadako's main power? To answer that, let's take a look at an example from another teleporting killer that Sadako is often compared to. Dredge. What is Dredge's main power? A lot of people would answer that, well, it can teleport to lockers. But that's more its utility power. Dredge's main power is the Remnant. How do we identify this, though? Well, technically, Dredge has 3 aspects to its power: Remnant, Locker Teleportation, and Nightfall. So how did we land on Remnant as Dredge's main power? Well, while the reasoning may differ between persons, my thought process is Remnant is what makes the killer good. Like, if you remove Locker Teleportation or Nightfall, it'd be a big nerf, yeah, but Remnant is still there, and that's what makes Dredge good. Remnant is the unique aspect that gives Dredge an edge over other killers comparable to it. Now, let's take this logic and apply it to Sadako. Her power can similarly be broken down into 3 aspects: Demanifestation, Projection, and Condemn. Next, let's compare each of these aspects to other killer powers. First, Demanifestation. Demanifestation is, at face value, a stealth mode that allows you to get the drop on survivors. However, Wraith has more potential for mind games with his stealth. Ghostface can use his stealth to insta-down and is just generally sneakier. And Chucky, while not really being a stealth mode for similar reasons as Sadako, Chucky has a directional laugh and Sadako has a lullaby, his Slice and Dice is a super powerful form of anti-loop. Demanifestation doesn't really compare or give Sadako a leg up on these other killers with a quote-unquote stealth mode. Next, let's take a look at Projection. Projection is a teleportation ability, but once again, Dredge's teleportation, while also being at a fixed location with the lockers, can't just be turned off like the TVs. Nurse's blinks are... and Singularity's Slipstream offers a lot more in the way of chase potential. Again, Projection doesn't really compare to the other teleportation abilities present in Dead by Daylight. Now let's take a look at Condemn. Other killers have unique afflictions. Think Wesker's Ouroboros infection, Nemesis's contamination, or Plague's sickness. However, these afflictions at most make the survivors more vulnerable to being downed and hooked. Sadako's Condemn stands out in that it has the potential to just kill the survivor. What makes Sadako unique, and what makes her worth playing over other killers with similar aspects to their power, is the fact that Sadako can just kill you. The other killer that can just outright kill a survivor with no regard for hook states, aka the normal killer objective, is Myers with tombstone add-ons. Therefore, I'd argue Sadako's main power isn't teleportation or stealth, it's condemn. Now that we've identified what makes Sadako unique, let's take a look at how that plays out in-game. First off, I almost always run Lethal Pursuer on Sadako. It's so important to know which gens survivors hop on at the start. Typically, I let one group sit on a gen and try to get a hit on someone else in another group within 30 seconds. Because as soon as the TVs turn on, I'm gonna teleport to the TV next to the gen being repaired by the survivors I identified at the start with lethal. Once you start going against survivors with more experience who know how to play against Sadako, they're gonna be grabbing tapes right at the start. They're not gonna let a TV stay on while they're doing an objective. You have to accept this and work to counter it. Teleport to a TV before they can retrieve the tape, and send them scattering. See which TVs they will be running to, and do your best to time teleports before survivors can reach them, but also while they're within range of condemn. This is a very macro-heavy playstyle that benefits massively from map-wide info perks. Think Hex Face the Darkness. Face the Darkness is a fantastic perk on Sadako, maybe one of her best. You're spending 80% of the match demanifested without a terror radius, meaning once Face the Darkness activates, it'll be pretty much guaranteed screams and aura every 25 seconds on everyone. You can use this info to better predict survivor movements and time projections. With this, you'll hopefully be spreading a lot of condemn right at the start, meaning survivors will be hunting for TVs to retrieve tapes from, which leads to the other way you have to play Sadako: TV management. It's really easy to avoid being fully condemned now as a survivor. Tapes have no disadvantage and remove half your condemn in one go. So as Sadako, you need to make tape runs near impossible. You do this by managing your TVs, and keeping the relevant ones powered off. This style of rapid teleports will still slowly spread condemned survivors, but keep them searching for TVs and off of gens, giving you passive slowdown as well as pushing you towards the inevitable inexorable stare. To summarize, at the start of the match, identify survivor locations, and after 30 seconds, immediately teleport to the TVs near survivors, shutting down their ability to start tape runs from the get-go. From there, manage your TVs to prevent tape runs, and slowly accrue condemn on the survivors. Now, this playstyle is very different from most killers. You just can't commit to long chases, downs, hooks, etc. Every second you spend focused on one survivor, you're forgetting about the other three. TVs are turning back on, and openings for survivors to begin tape runs present themselves. You have to play the macro game. Sadako is not a micro killer. She doesn't excel in chase, so don't commit to them. Unless someone is fully condemned, of course. Then it's time to pull out all of the stops and get that down. Sadako pairs very nicely with the hit-and-run playstyle. Get quick hits with the speed from projections, and drop chase just as fast to return to your macro game. You need to be juggling all the survivors at once to stand a chance. She's not powerful. She's low tier. You have to accept the limitations that come with that. Still, mastering the condemned playstyle is very rewarding, and leads to some of the most unique killer gameplay I've experienced. It's why she's been my main since I started Dead by Daylight. If this video has piqued your interest on giving Sadako a whirl, I'll next give a couple of builds to help you get started. First off, like I said, Lethal Pursuer and Hex Face the Darkness almost never leave my builds. You can make a lot of good builds for Sadako by using those two as a base. Some of my favorite perks to combo with Lethal and Face the Darkness are Play with Your Food, Coup de Grace, Brutal Strength, Machine Learning, and Dark Arrogance. I don't really like running slowdown perks, mainly just because I find others more interesting, but they will obviously be good choices. Since Sadako doesn't hook as often as other killers, I'd recommend more passive slowdown perks like Deadlock and Ruin. Ruin especially, since survivors are going to have to get up to look for TVs a lot when you're effectively spreading Condemn. All Hex builds are definitely a guilty pleasure of mine, and that goes doubly so when I'm playing Sadako. I like to call it Side Quest Sadako, because the survivors are spending all of their time cleansing hexes and trying to do tape runs. An example of such a build would be Face the Darkness, Ruin, Thrill of the Hunt, and Devour Hope. The last build I'll mention is a forbidden build that is only whispered of in hushed terror. I call it Slugako. As the name would imply, you slug. That's it. I run Knockout, Sloppy Butcher, Hex Third Seal, and something like Undying or Deerstalker. This used to be a lot better with old ring drawing, when it spread Condemn to survivors when they healed a survivor with Condemn, but the build is still good. As for add-ons, Sadako has two that I just think are objectively the best. Those are Bloody Fingernail, a green add-on, and Videotape Copy, a brown add-on. Bloody Fingernail extends the duration of the projection speed boost, and Videotape Copy expands the range of your TV's Condemn application. The Eerie add-on, Remote Control, can also be good if you're looking for more aura read. Consider swapping it in from time to time. Alright, that's pretty much everything I have to say. I hope that this maybe made you interested in trying Sadako, and if you already play her, were able to find some helpful tips from this. Goodbye for now, and I'll see y'all whenever I get the motivation to upload again.